Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Mike Chu, a physical therapist. And yes, I am your alternative career coach. And today we're going to be talking about from being a burnout RN to finding your alternative career by being a real estate agent and starting your own Amazon store with Irina Kalanick. We'll be back in a few seconds, okay?
HelloNote is a truly therapist-friendly practice management solution with integrated EMR that will enhance workflow, efficiency, and patient care. HelloNote reduces error and allows you to spend more time with your patients. It comes integrated with billing. Claims are generated once a note is completed. You can bill with one click and a patient portal, which streamlines the patient intake process. Beautifully engineered and cloud-based for easy accessibility, the software works on all platforms. You can access patient records from anywhere. We also offer 24/7 support. HelloNote is the practice management solution that you're looking for.
Hello, my Facebook friends and YouTube friends. Welcome back to our Alternative Healthcare Career Show.
EMB.com.
Well, anyway, we got a special guest for today. Again, if you're watching live, comment live. Watching on the replay, comment replay. But before I keep on going and introduce our special guest for tonight, I just like to promote. Gotta do my job, right? Go back and do your job, Michael. HelloNote.com. Check it out. HelloNote.com. If you need the documentation system in your EMR, that's actually electronic medical record. If you need documentation system in your outpatient Part B or any kind of EMR, check it out. HelloNote.com. All right. And of course, check out MedBridgeEducation.com.
EMB.com.
You get $175 off. Okay, 40%. Okay, 40%. You go use our code alternative, ALTERNATIVE. So we get some brownie points. In the Philippines we call it pogi points. Pogi points, like brownie points, right? All right, I think I did my job there. So check it out, MedBridgeEducation.com and HelloNote. All right, our special guest for today, he's actually an RN, right? Here we are, physical therapist, occupational therapist in our private group. We want to be RNs and like, I'm burnout being a physical therapist and I want to be an RN, right? And then my wife, she's an RN. She wants to be a physical therapist like me, right?
EMB.com.
And so I said, well, let me find a registered nurse who is also burnout and also trying to find their alternative career. And she's been a good friend, a very supportive friend. And her name is Irina Kalanick. She's actually from Belarus, right? Belarus. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Minsk, Belarus. So she's got this immigrant mentality, ladies and gentlemen. You have to have that, that killer mentality, that immigrant mentality, that go big or go home, something like that, right? It just that you don't accept, then you don't accept no for an answer, something like that. Because when you're an immigrant, when you come here, you gotta pass the exam, and then you just have to do what you gotta do, right? So she's a nurse. We're gonna ask her what brought her here, United States. Who, or maybe who, right? We can ask who. And then what made her decide to be an RN and got her burned out, and then eventually found her alternative career. All right, without further ado, let's go ahead and bring in the amazing, the great Miss Irina Kalanick. Miss Irina, could you please tell us who you are again, what you do? Aside, I know being an RN, I know you're an awesome ballroom dancer too. Could you please tell us again who you are? What do you do, and how can you help us find our alternative career?
You keep playing the music. I'm going to start dancing. That's going to be dangerous.
Well, not your type of music. I know you're like fancy ballroom person. So, well, anyway, yeah, could you please tell us how we can find our alternative career, please?
Sure. So, like you asked how we ended up in the States and what we did. As a matter of fact, July 20th, right, which is next week, is going to be 30 years since we arrived to the United States. I was 21.
So you were like 1 year old then?
I was 21. Not quite one. I was 21. I already had a nursing degree in Soviet Union, former Soviet Union, Belarus. My husband, who's a physical therapist, and that's how I guess we connected, right, with you and the group, because he has his mobile PT practice and I help him in all the administrative stuff. So we came to visit. Believe it or not, we came as visitors. And of course, we always wanted to stay United States, right? The land of opportunity and freedom and money grow on the trees, haha, right? That's all what we thought being back in our countries. You probably have the same impression of what they showed us and told us. So when we came to the States, this was back in 92, the shortage of nurses was huge. And if you have your RN license, so if you passed your boards, and if you have an offer for a job, they were giving green cards. And that's how we stayed. That's how we got our permanent residency status. And of course, 5 years later, we applied for citizenship. And of course, we've been, citizens and, still visiting for 30 years. But it started with the visitor's visa. But being RN helped me, the shortage of nurses in that time helped me to stay. And yes, I've been a nurse. And of course, when I was 20, 21, all we wanted to do is ICU and ER and save the world, right? And that's what I did. I did open heart surgery. I did CCU step down. I did pediatric ICU. And then it was just enough. The hospital was just too much. And I did home health for quite a few years. Driving a lot, and I loved it. I loved the independence. I loved the decision making. But after a while and a couple of car accidents while driving and working, being on call weekends and being called at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, especially when I had one child and the second child, became really hard. So I was lucky to find a job that I still actually do. And this is a telehealth nurse. So I work as a nurse advice line. I work completely from home, and it's a great job. But again, it gets very stressful because you can get suicidal calls and women in labor, and you never know what you're going to get. And of course, working every other weekend, pretty much every holiday. I don't remember the last time I was off on the holiday. And having 2 kids in college was overtime, working, picking up hours, and I was completely burned out. About 3 or 4 years ago, I was like, there's no way out. I haven't had a raise in I don't know how long. My husband was
You don't
fired
even
from
know
the
what
job.
that word nowadays, right?
No, I honestly don't. And the health insurance, always been on me, keeps going up every year. So my paycheck keeps shrinking and shrinking and shrinking. And the only way to make more was to work extra. But every time you work extra, the taxes are going higher. So at the end, you're basically working for pennies, even if it sounds like, wow, wonderful, this is a bonus and overtime. At the end, after you see what's left, it's really like, it wasn't a huge difference in the paycheck. And that's why we started looking for something to supplement our income, and not necessarily to have like a side hustle, but to have multiple streams of income, the passive income. And I know you said that I'm a real estate agent. I am not the agent. We're real estate investors.
Oh, I'm
So
sorry.
this is completely passive income. So we were introduced to the group that teaches about the investing in the properties that they call turnkeys. Basically, you buy the properties and you're 100% investor. So you don't do any flips, you don't do any repairs, you don't manage the properties. You have the company that buys the homes, they completely remodel them, renovate them, they find the tenant to live in, they pre-qualify, I guess, them, right? They check their background, they get the deposit, they collect monthly rent, any repairs, anything, they completely handle it. So, and that's what we started doing. We did completely crazy things that most people will do, but that's what our business mentors taught us. We pulled the money out of 401k. And I know some people go, what? What did you do? Honestly, if I had known this 30 years ago when we started putting money in 401k, I would have never put a penny in it.
I know.
You work all your life, you put in it, you have no control, you have no access to the money, and if you want to get this money, you pay penalty. And yes, we did pay 10% penalty, and yes, this was the best decision we've ever made. So we started buying real estate properties for this money from 401k. And of course, now with the crazy appreciation in the stock market, in the real estate world, right? We're able to do cash out refinance. We pull in this money. So we basically have these houses, some of them for free, just, good credit. And yes, it is the loan, but the loan is being paid by our tenants. And the name of the game is the cash flow. So I pretty much replaced half of my salary. I would say maybe 40% of my salary with the cash flow from the real estate. So it is 99% passive. The only thing I have to do is I pay the mortgages, right? Once a month, I pay the mortgages, and I do communicate with the mortgage, with the property management once in a while, if they have any question, if, you're going to have repairs here and there, something is going to leak, something is going to happen. The tenants sometimes move. We've been very lucky. We have the same tenants since pretty much 3.5 years since we started buying the properties. So we still have original tenants in one of our rentals. And that's amazing. That's great. But I do communicate with them, every so often, make sure that we have insurances up to date. So I kind of like overlook, but this is nothing that takes like maybe, I don't know, an hour a month, right? It's not comparing to my active job working as RN. And recently we did cash out refinance because the appreciation is crazy. So we were able to pull some cash. And we were planning to buy another rental because we have the goal, we have the game plan where we have so many houses we need to replace our salaries. And it's old fashioned, it's proven, but it's a slow process of building wealth, right? You get appreciation, you get the cash flow, you have a huge savings. Basically, it's tax-free. You don't pay, there are some ways that way you don't really pay taxes from your real estate cash flow. And you use the leverage, right? Because you only put certain percentage down and then the rest comes from the bank, from the loan, but you're controlling, you're getting the benefits from the whole amount, from the whole entire property. So it was a lot of mind changing, a lot of education, a lot of networking with investors. The way, we were W-2 employees all our lives, and all we knew is just go to work, right? Have a job, go to work, come back, and then you get the paycheck, and then you spend this money. Where it's completely different when you become entrepreneur, when you become an investor. So we were able to cash out refinance with the recent huge appreciation in real estate, and we're planning to buy our next property. And one of my real estate friends, investors, introduced me to the Amazon store. And again, you said she opened the Amazon store. This is wrong. I did not open it. We invested in it. So we have a professional team, very similar to turnkey real estate. I call it turnkey Amazon. Basically, it's a true investment where you have professional team. It's over 100 people. They have their own VA company. They have a software, which is like hundreds of thousands of dollars, that does the product research. They look at the margins. They look at the supply and demand. They do customer service. It's completely off hands. It's completely managed by the professional team, and then they take the percentage of the profit for their work. But it's another stream of passive income. And the reason why we did this, because the investment from e-commerce is significantly higher, 10 to 15 times higher than from the rental property, like a single rental property. The down payment would be about the same as the investment in Amazon. So that's what we did. And our plan is to use these profits and keep buying more rentals and see what else. I've been networking with lots of investors, and there are so many opportunities. So I wanted to diversify. I watched this video some time ago, and that's the system we're trying to build. And the focus of the video was invest in 7 things and you never have to work again. And the 7 things were 7 streams of passive income, but it was very diversified. It was the rental real estate that brings you cash flow. It owned a business, and he specifically focused on owning the business, not necessarily working or like opening or managing the business, but owning. And that's kind of like where Amazon is. And of course, my husband has a business, but that's 100% active, right? Right now, it's 150% what he works right now. But that's also, that's the business where we are trying to slowly replace and for him to work on the business rather than in the business, right? But the real estate is one of the streams of passive income for us. The Amazon store, that's another one. And of course, stocks and bonds and, silver and all other investments. But I am researching more and more. So with the Amazon, because I have been so passionate about passive incomes and especially helping healthcare professionals, that breaks my heart when I see this post that physical therapists, that you guys went to school for 7 years, right? Isn't that 7-year degree?
Kinda, yeah. Some people even go to 8 and 9. So it really
Yes.
depends on how long
And
their
then you
undergrad
have,
and the
yeah, and
program,
then
the
you have
DPT program
hundred,
is.
and then you have all these crazy loans, and then they're thinking about being nurses, and I'm like,
I
this is
know.
crazy. This is crazy. I mean, yes, nurses get paid, but honestly, being a physical therapist in your own practice, my husband is making more than double than I'm making as RN.
That's
Yes,
so true.
yes. I mean, there's no way that they can come with the same. Yes, if somebody is looking at that crazy pay that the nurses were getting during COVID, this is gone. That doesn't exist anymore. I talked to my friend who works in the hospital yesterday, and she says they're not doing staffing anymore, nurses from the agencies, because that's very, very high pay for the hospitals. They do it
Hmm.
as needed. I know we had a lot of like PRN nurses. They just laid off 7 the day before yesterday
Yep.
from the company I work for. Why? Right? There's no this craziness anymore. So I honestly, even the starting physical therapy salary is higher than RNs. Yes, you can get all of these night shifts and differential and weekends, but do you really want to be away from your families? I mean, do you really want to? I don't know. I have not seen a patient in 19 years. Yes, I still work as an RN. I haven't seen a patient in 19 years. And honestly, I don't miss patient care. I got burned out. I talk to them on the phone. I tell them what to do. Go do it.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So, but I am very close. My goal is by the end of this year to replace my salary with the passive income. Am I going to quit my nursing job? Probably not. But I will definitely. I am thinking
Because
about.
you like it.
I do. I do like my
Yeah,
job. But
that's the
if
key
I'm the
there.
one who is
Mhm.
going to be laid off, you know what? So what? Fine.
It's true.
you know
You know.
or I might just go part-time, and I'm actually thinking about it. I'm thinking about it because I'm also a professional competitive ballroom dancer. This was my passion from my childhood that was on hold for 30 years.
Hmm.
And when kids, they're grown now, so they're out of the house, we're empty nesters. This became our hobby for both of us, and my husband kind of pushed me back. He's like, let's go, try to compete. You don't want to be 70 and look back in 20 years and say, why didn't I try?
So
So
the
this
two of
is
you, you and Walter, you compete. Could you please share us what
no,
do you do
no,
with
we
that?
don't
Or
compete. No, I compete with a professional. I compete with my teacher, who's a professional, very high
oh,
level dancer.
wow.
Now, I'll kill Walter before we compete. That's not going to happen. You can
But
compete with
Walter
somebody
dances
else.
too, right?
Yeah, but we do like social dancing. We go to like social dance parties. He does a lots
Hmm.
of dance moves and music with his patients, especially Parkinson patients. It's working phenomenal. That
Hmm.
he uses some of the move steps, just a very, very basic. Yes,
Hmm.
he's taken some lessons, and we do like social dancing where we go and we dance sometimes with him, and then we exchange partners. It's like a huge group of people. But I
Wow.
compete with the high level professional. It's called pro am. He's a professional, I'm amateur. So this is another. This hobby is so expensive. I mean, I'm
Hmm.
spending 30% of my nursing salary for this at least,
Well, of course, the
and I
the
wanted to do my.
fees, you know,
Yeah,
the how you pay him to, I assume, and plus
absolutely.
your gown. I mean, those gowns are very expensive.
Tens,
I
thousands
know,
of dollars.
and you
Yes.
don't want to wear the same one every competition.
I mean, you usually do it for about a
Oh yeah,
year. like four season, yes. But the
Mhm.
competitions, you have, because I dance with the professional, I have to pay, his fee and cartel, and of course he has several students, so it's usually split. But still, that's we're talking about thousands of dollars, and there's
Yeah.
no way I can ever afford it for my RN salary or even, my husband's PT business. There's no way. So our renters, our tenants have been paying for my
Mhm.
dancing. So now with the Amazon store, my plan is to go from, I do like once a week double lessons. So I want to do 2 lessons a week, double lessons, and I want to compete more. But that's the only way I can do it, is to generate passive income, because there's not enough time in life or energy. If I work 2 jobs, I won't have any energy to go to the gym or to dance. And I compete with the very, very wealthy women who do not work. They are not nurses, they're not physical therapists. These women get up, go to the gym, they get massage, and they go and take daily private lessons with the instructors. So unfortunately, I can't do it, but these passive incomes really helping me. And I've been so passionate about, teaching my friends. And I have some friends following our steps that are able to cut their active work hours. They're able to maybe go part-time and spend more time with their children or their families, or even maybe work full-time, but they're able to say no to the employer when they are, forced to work overtime or extra shift or any holidays. So this passive income really has been helping them. And the company that we invest with Amazon, they actually, when we started talking about, who does what we invest, and they saw how passionate I am about cutting taxes and teaching people about, about the businesses and passive income, they offered me to become the advisor. So I am actually representing the company, helping people to invest in e-commerce, invest in the Amazon stores, and they are looking for advisors. They are looking for affiliates. So this can be a great side hustle for someone who is looking to supplement their jobs. It's not passive unless you invest in business, right? Unless you have your cash flow asset. But it's a pretty good, easy money, especially if you're affiliate. All you have to do is just to keep sending people my way, like an advisor, where we have Zoom calls and I explain how it works. And then somebody decides to invest in the store, they get a commission. And it's a pretty good commission, anywhere from 500 to 2,000. So just think how many hours you have to work, right? Actively as a nurse or physical therapist, and especially now with the reimbursement going down. And that's what really scared me, that my salary, I haven't had a raise forever, and even helping my husband with the PT business. I mean, all we see is another 3.5% cut, right? You keep talking about it. And another thing, Mike, you're dealing with this. They've been sending us these virtual credit cards. Have you been getting them?
Yep, yep. I mean, I use it. I mean, I just put it. We already have a virtual credit card system set up anyway, or
We do
that
too. But do
swiping
you
thing.
realize that but you're losing every time you swipe when you use them, you're losing another 3%, right? 3.5,
Yeah,
depending on what system you use. But that's my point. Reimbursement keeps going down. Now, even when you get a little bit of money after fighting with the insurance companies, you can't just go and deposit. You have to process it and you're losing more. It's
I
just
know. I
like,
got like a $7 credit card thing. I was like,
but
am I still going to put this here or what? So
yeah, we
it's
got
just,
81 cents.
I know,
81
right?
cents. I'm like,
Oh gosh.
it costs you more
Well,
to even ship it. Really?
I know, but I like what you said about investing. Okay, it's very important, ladies and gentlemen. You listen to what Irina's talking about here. She's investing not just financially, but also in herself. It's very important that you invest in yourself. You educate yourself about that business that you're trying to go to. You educate and invest in yourself on that, whether it's a real estate, starting your own business, open up your own Amazon store or eBay or whatever. You have to invest. Okay. It's like planting a seed, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I just bought a class again on how to start your home care agency. Is it a cheap class? Heck no. It was like a 5,500 class. You know, obviously I'm going to invest almost 10K on how to start a home care business. Is it cheap? No. But is it going to be worth it? Yes. And this is what Irina's talking about. You have to learn how to invest. You can't be just a a passive person. Yes, we want passive income, but you can't be a passive person. All right, you have to actively do it and intentionally do it. Because if you just go along the way, just like a wandering generality, like a zombie, you're gonna be like the rest of the people who are just burned out and then just mad at the profession, whether you're a nurse or a physician or a therapist. You're just gonna be burned out. But finding your alternative career starts from here, ladies and gentlemen, from your mindset, educating yourself. All right, let's go ahead. Before we keep on going, we are going to go back because I got to educate myself too. We got to go back in a few seconds, okay?
HelloNote is a truly therapist-friendly practice management solution with integrated EMR that will enhance workflow, efficiency, and patient care. HelloNote reduces error and allows you to spend more time with your patients. It comes integrated with billing. Claims are generated once a note is completed. You can bill with one click and a patient portal, which streamlines the patient intake process. Beautifully engineered and cloud-based for easy accessibility, the software works on all platforms. You can access patient records from anywhere. We also offer 24/7 support. HelloNote is the practice management solution that you're looking for.
All right, I think we're back again. Sorry. And I was supposed to play this music. All right, that is hellonote.com. Check it out, hellonote.com. We got like 2 more videos, right? We'll be back in a few seconds.
So much today from Dr. Mike Chua's Certified Dementia Practitioner live seminar. Not only was it about facts on how to help as a therapist treat those with dementia or memory deficits, but it was also about how to talk to family members, how to talk to caregivers, how to interact with the nursing staff in the hospital, and really how to present myself as a certified dementia practitioner. If you're looking to broaden your skill set with becoming a certified dementia practitioner, I highly recommend Dr. Mike Chua's seminar.
Hello, my name is Nina Chokashvili. I am support group facilitator leader and yes, a specialist and Alzheimer educator. So I just completed Dr. Mike Chua's 2-day class, which one was the best class. First.
All right, check that out. If you need CEU classes, CEU continuing education units. All right, I'm running out of English. It's way past my English time, Marina. So check it out, drmikechua.com/ADDC. Use the code AHC, Alternative Healthcare Career. You get a 47 or something discount in that class, and it will be taught by is that how you say it? It will be taught by Lisette Clute. She's an occupational therapist, so she's amazing. She's great. All right, let's go ahead and bring in our guest for tonight. I know it's very it's late. I think she's on Eastern time. If I'm not mistaken. Let's go and bring her back. Miss Irina, are you there?
Yes, I am.
All right, and then before I'm gonna give you like crazy questions. So where can we reach you? Where can we find you? And again, thank you very much for joining us. I appreciate you for being a good friend and for everything. Any last parting wisdom, and where can they find you?
I'm on Facebook, so anyone feel free to send me a friend request and DM me, and I'll be glad to answer any questions. I'm gonna give you the link to my schedule, like my if somebody wants to talk to me on the Zoom link, they're definitely available. They can schedule an appointment, like not an appointment, like a meeting, whatever you want to call, right? Just book the time with me, and I'll be glad to talk to you guys. And I can send you some information about the investments. So if you want to become affiliates or advisors, and maybe you need a little side hustle to make extra money, if you want to invest but maybe you're not able to do it on your paycheck, there are lots of opportunities. The company is phenomenal. They are actually building more and more ways for investors to invest. They actually have the stock market, the stock platform, and they're teaching people how to trade. If somebody is interested to do this, they're going to add the real estate. They're going to, I don't know if you might be familiar with the infinite banking, and this is something else that we learned, how to become your own banker, and don't, keep the money in the bank. So there's a lot of education that we had done in the last 3 to 4 years. And I 100% agree with you when you said that you have to invest in yourself first. If it wasn't for my husband being fired from home health, very similar what you went through, right? He probably still would have been WTE employee, and we still would have been living from paycheck to paycheck and being very afraid of the retirement and putting money in 401k. And especially now with that bloodbath in the stock market, I mean, whew, I'm so glad that we pulled the money out. But you need to invest in your education. So it was that time when we had the first 2 houses under contract, when my husband lost the job, and we're like, what do we do? But that 2 houses, believe it or not, that little $700-800 at that time was a little boost, right? Even it's not a loss of money, but this was something that was paying at least for food, was paying for electricity, was something a little while he was able to start his business. And the way we started our business, we invested in the business coaches. And the only regret I have that we didn't know about it earlier. The only regret I have about investing in real estate that we didn't do it 20 years ago, because we talk about it, but we never knew that you can do it passively. The only way we knew is buying houses, working. We actually did one house with my mom and your husband, who's an attorney. So he helped a lot with all the legal stuff. Took us over a year, and I think we profited $5,000 at the end, and we're like, we're never doing it again, because we had 2 kids, and it was like weekends and evenings spent there. And of course, we're not professionals. We had no idea what we were doing, and trying to contract people, and they were not showing up. And let professionals do their job. Delegate, delegate, delegate. I learned it from you. And
You
this
know what?
is
That's
how,
so funny. You mentioned
and
that because us as I don't know, maybe just medical professional. We as a medical professional, whether you're PT or a nurse, we like to do everything on our own. I did my credentialing on my own for Medicare. It took me 8 months. Now I pay someone to do it for me. It takes them boom like
yep,
that, like that. And
exactly.
then here we are trying to figure out stuff on our own, and we're not the experts. Just like taxes. Yes, you can probably do it, use
Yeah,
TurboTax or whatever, online thing. But would you risk that versus paying someone? Just like surgery. Would you want to do surgery on yourself? Go to a good surgeon, right? And same thing when you're starting a business, ladies and gentlemen. When you want to find your alternative career, when you want to find your, real estate, next real estate adventure, or even open up your Amazon store. Yes, you can probably do it. I can probably do it now. But the question is, am I going to be efficient? Am I going to waste my a year and not being successful and keep on failing? You might as well pay someone. Yes, some people they don't have the money to pay right now, but there will always, if there's a wheel, there's a way.
exactly.
If there's
And
a
the
car, there's a wheel, there's a car, right? But if there's a wheel, there's a way, ladies and gentlemen. And we just like to make excuses. That's the thing. And oh, we don't have the money yet. There's always money right in your house right now that you
absolutely.
can sell and buy that little class that you want to succeed at. So
Or you can
All right.
have with appreciation, you can have the HELOC. I was just actually talking to someone about the HELOC. Yes, it's adjustable, 5, 6, okay, 10%. I can make 100 to 200 in Amazon. Okay. There are so many. What is 10%? Even if I have to borrow for 10, but if I can double the money in a year, that's completely different, right? Education in yourself. I remember, Mike, the first time when I listened to you and I wanted to book the call, private call with you, and I look at your price, I'm like, he's insane. Who does he think he is? And then when we had that an hour call, which actually took us what 2 hours, right? Oh my gosh, we had, I don't know, 100 times return on what you gave us in that session, that I would have paid you 10 times more because of the golden nuggets that you gave us. And we have a biller. Can I do it? Can I bill myself? Yes. Can I save this 7%? Yes. But I
Mm-hmm.
tried once to call the insurance after hour and a half on the phone and being cut off and calling back. No, I can make much more. I can go dance. Walter can make much more. Let people do it. Let have professionals do what they're good at. I cannot be a real estate agent and the marketer and the lender, right? Or the whatever they call it, like management company. Our tenants are in Tennessee. That's 6 hours away. There's no way.
I
Why?
know.
Because the numbers make more sense there. It's the number game. It's all numbers. I'm not buying properties for myself. It's a complete investment. It's the money making machine. So I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to do tenants, termites, and toilets. Okay, they're gonna take they do an amazing job. Let them take their cut. The same with Amazon, right? I don't have time. I cannot compete with these computer wizards who are 20, 30-year olds who are like this. I mean, they're doing it, and I'm like, yeah, okay, good. All I
Mm-hmm.
want is the paycheck coming, right? That's all I want. Let the professionals, and you can't do this, like you said, it might take you a year to learn it, but then you have to give up something else. I can't be a nurse, I can't help my husband with his business, I cannot practice and dance and have real estate and have Amazon and have other. There's no way you can do this. There's not enough time, there's not enough energy for anyone to do this. So delegate, and there is enough profit for everyone. Let people take the profit of your profit. They make you profit, let them take their part. You know how they
I,
say the biggest, I've heard it so many times, the biggest destroyer of wealth is taxes. The biggest destroyer of wealth is ignorance. It's lack of
mm,
knowledge. And
that's
then
so
tax.
true.
And like you
That's
mentioned
so
about the CPA, when we opened Walter's business, we walked into the CPA office, and the first thing he said, because we always done taxes ourselves, he goes, congratulations, you'll be paying 40% taxes. We're like, so immediately, right? He did S Corp, and now we're paying
That's so
very
true. And of
little,
course, there's nothing wrong
right?
paying taxes, to be honest. It's just a mindset shift. There's this group, like our mastermind group. It's like different speakers and authors, like Dave Ramsey and Dan Miller. Those mastermind group that I've attended, and the mindset is totally different. I'm talking to one of our patient. They were complaining about paying taxes, but with that mastermind people that I talk to, they're like, "Oh, I'm so happy I'm paying 20K, 30K, 40K this year because I know, Michael, I made money at the same time. I know I'm helping the country." Something like that. And I'm happy. Oh, I'm clicking in the QuickBooks or whatever you call it, the tax. We call it TN tap here, where we're paying taxes. I'm always happy doing that because it only means you're making money, and it's not a, what you call this, it's not a curse. It's actually a blessing that you're able to pay taxes because you're making money at the same time, providing livelihood for the people around you. Because when you're delegating a job, right, Elia, I think you know this feeling. When you're delegating a job to someone else, you're also giving livelihood for that person, and you're
Absolutely.
changing that person's lives too. And the more people that you help, the more lives that you will change. And that's the goal of finding your alternative career, finding that financial freedom. Again, thank you very much, Irene. I appreciate you. Again, any last parting wisdom for the group before we stop?
Just open your mind. If you guys are not, if you only know, get an education, go to work, right? Get the paycheck, grab a book, buy Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad. I am the best example. My father, who is a medical doctor, MD, PhD, MPH, he is the perfect example of poor dad from that book. That's all he knew. Go to work, make good money, but barely having any life. My best friend is OBGYN. I just talked to her and she's like, I hate my life. I hate my life because all she does is being on call. She just worked 72 hours on call last weekend. She's exhausted. She doesn't have time for children. She doesn't have time for her parents. So start educating yourself. Start opening your mind that there is more in life than just a job. Time, get your time back. This is the biggest asset in life. This is something that you can never, ever get back. The time your kids are growing, your parents are getting older, they may be gone. You can never get this time back. So don't kill yourself. Don't think that the job is the only way to make money. Get the time freedom is the most important in life. And there are ways to do it. And if I can share our experience, if I can help, if somebody needs to start, like you said, some people may not have money to invest, but I can help with getting this side hustle. I can help. I am actually testing very little. I don't recommend anything that I'm not 100% sure yet. So I'm going to try it. I'm always a guinea pig for all my friends and family. So I am trying some alternative investments where you can really start with $100. But again, I need to be 100% sure that this is legit and it's working. But there are other investors. I was just talking to another investor, Mike, and I'm going to share it with you in private conversation, where you can make $750 without a month, without any investment, nothing, zero. Just for helping companies to advertise. Like there are some limitations that companies that advertise and sell online. So they use third-party people like us to use their merchant account, and they build your website, and they drive traffic to your website, but their manager is completely passive for you. And for using your name, your LLC, it's official business, they reimburse you. So there are so many ways, like networking with all the different business people and entrepreneurs is like, oh my gosh, they're like money everywhere outside healthcare that you can make. So I'm learning more and more. It's a long process. I'm loving it. So it's always been my passion, finances, investments. And I feel that, dancing and finance has been my passion that was pretty much put to rest when I was very young, when my parents said, no, you're the only child of two physicians, you have to go into the healthcare field. And now I feel like I have this second chance in life where I'm back to dancing and where I am doing this finances and investment and, helping our family, helping other people. And the funny part, this finance and investment is sponsoring my dancing. It's financially paying for it. It's like, who would have thought?
I know. Well, like I've read Robert Kiyosaki's Reach Dad Poor Dad, the four quadrants and everything.
4 quadrants.
And
Yeah.
if you want the free book, ladies and gentlemen, right now I actually read it when I was in back home in the Philippines, and my wife bought a book from a flea market, like a $2 book, Rich Dad Poor Dad. And right now I'm listening an audiobook. It's free. You check it out at Spotify. It's free, actually, the Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I'm listening to it right now going home. So I like what he said. You'll never get freedom until you get financial freedom, something like
And
that.
it was so funny. Like I was reading, this is probably the third time I'm reading, because the first time I read it years ago didn't really make too much sense for me. And then second time I read it when we started right at the beginning of our investments journey. And I just read it again, just few chapters. And it just so much I was able to relate to our healthcare business. Like our son is a fourth-year medical school student, and he wants to go into family medicine. And my parents, no, you have to become a specialist. They get reimbursed more. And in that book, Robert Kiyosaki, he's not talking about the physician. He's talking like general. He says, the more you specialize, the harder it's going to be to make money, right? To make income. You can be very, very high in your rank, in your specialty, but you are not, right? It limits you. And I'm like, wow, we just had this conversation because they're trying to convince him. He's like, no, I want to go into family medicine. That's where my passion is. And that's true, where the sky is the limit, because there's so much they can do. And there's so much in the book that he's talking completely unrelated to healthcare, but that I could relate to in our business, with our son. It's just amazing. It's just amazing how you look at things differently when you have a business mindset. The best example is when we first went to look at rental houses before we started investing, and yes, buying houses online. But the first two houses we went, we met with the team, we learned the system, we saw the warehouses, we visited the properties that they invest and they renovate. And it was shocking to me when they showed us the kitchens. First of all, everything is like the same. And I'm like, why is it the same? It's business, right? It's the same carpet, the same doors, it's the same kitchen, the same floor. So if something goes wrong, they have it in the warehouse. It's easy to replace. But the thing that completely was like, wow, the kitchen did not have any knobs. And I'm like, wow, that's weird. Why is that like this? You have the doors and you have this little, I don't know what it's called, like a little thing like on the bottom, right? Where you put your fingers to open. And they said, that's the maintenance call, right? If you have the doorknobs, that's like, you have the doorknobs, they're going to get loose, they're going to fall. Somebody's going to call to fix it. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So it's completely different mindset as the way we buy houses to invest. And we learned this. We learned it from being, doing these tours, like the real estate investment tour, talking to real estate investors who had many, many more houses before and could share the experience, visiting this. It's completely different. And the way I just look at money is completely different. It's just a tool, money is supposed to make money. It's just a tool, right?
That's so true. That's so true. A lot of people will say, money is the root of all evil. No, lack of money.
Absolutely not.
It's the lack of money.
If you're a
uh,
good person, it's only going to bring good into you. Like we're
amen.
able to do donations, right? We're able to, I hope that's my goal by the end of this year, to cut on my hours. And I have not worked overtime or,
Mhm.
anything that I don't reply to the messages when they're looking. Hope my employer is not listening. But, when they're looking for extra help, I just delete it because I don't need it. I have the time freedom. I would rather go practice. I need to get ready for my next competition. I would rather spend time with my 20-year-old child who's home right now. We don't get to see them often. They're gone in colleges. So it's time. It's time. So if I'm able, which I should be able to by January, that's my goal, to cut the hours on my RN job, volunteer. That's my other. I would love to volunteer in the children's hospital.
There you go. There you go. Time freedom and financial freedom, ladies and gentlemen. Again, thank you very much, Miss Irene. I appreciate you. But before I let you go, ladies and gentlemen,
We're gonna dance.
always remember the word fast, FAST, letter F. Find people that will bring out the best in you because you are the average of the 5 people you hang out with. So tonight, I hang out with Miss Irene. I feel like I want to reinvest again in real estate or Amazon store or whatever. You got to find those people. You got to be intentional, ladies and gentlemen. If she didn't intentionally found people who's going to bring out the best in her, she's probably going to still, be burnout nurse, right? Make sure you find those friends, people. Okay. Next letter is letter A. Take action. All this stuff that we're doing is not going to do me good. It's not even going to do Miss Irina good if you don't take action, ladies and gentlemen. Imperfect action beats imperfect action.
Yes.
Imperfect action beats perfect in action. A lot of us here, healthcare workers, whether you're a PT, a therapist, or RN, physician, or a nurse practitioner, we like to analyze. That's part of our role, subjective, objective assessment, analyzation, and plan. We like to analyze and plan to the point that we're in that analysis paralysis. You got to take action, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't have to be perfect. Reach out to Irina. That's the first step that you need to do. Reach out to her because that's the first step. Once you've done the first step, everything will follow, okay? What's the next letter? Letter S is shoot. Shoot for the moon. Why? If you keep shooting for the moon, you're going to miss it. You're going to be landing with the stars. Tonight, I landed with the star, Miss Irina. She's like a ballroom dancer, ballroom or whatever. I used to dance too, but my wife will always tell me I have two left foot or something like that. I would trip on my own foot, right? And of course, share and subscribe. The more shares, the better. Share Miss Irina's link. Share this video. because it may not be applicable to you, but it could be applicable to someone else. Maybe someone who wants to start their own Amazon store, wants to start their own real estate investing. Reach out to her, Irina Kalanick, Facebook. Just reach out to her on Facebook. And last but not the least is letter T, is teach it. Why? Because when you hear it, you forget. When you see it, you remember. But when you're actually teaching it, like what Miss Irina is doing, you're actually understanding it more. Again, thank you very much, my Facebook friends. Be awesome, be great, be excellent. And thank you very much again, Miss Irina. I'll see you around, and I'll see you around, my Facebook and YouTube friends. Bye-bye.
HelloNote is a truly therapist-friendly practice management solution with integrated EMR that will enhance workflow, efficiency, and patient care. HelloNote reduces error and allows you to spend more time with your patients. It comes integrated with billing. Claims are generated once a note is completed. You can bill with one click and a patient portal, which streamlines the patient intake process. Beautifully engineered and cloud-based for easy accessibility, the software works on all platforms. You can access patient records from anywhere. We also offer 24/7 support. HelloNote is the practice management solution that you're looking for.